Let's navigate through the corridors of the G20, an influential global platform with origins dating back to 1999. This assembly, initially a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors from 19 nations and the European Union, has metamorphosed into an annual summit of heads of states. So, what's the underlying story, and why does the summit of this year, slated for the 9th and 10th of September 2023, command attention? Such queries might be burgeoning in your intellect. Allow us to embark on an investigative expedition to decode the importance of this convention. Founded in 1999, the Group of 20, more commonly known as the G20, comprises 19 countries and the European Union. Together, these economies represent about 85% of the global gross domestic product, 2/3 of the world's population, and 75% of international trade. It serves as a powerful platform, shaping the global economic and financial system. This year, the baton is passed to India, with the summit set to take place in New Delhi on the 9th and 10th of September 2023. Before we move forward, it would be prudent to pause and comprehend India's role in the forthcoming G20 summit under the impactful leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi. India, a member of the G20 fraternity since its birth, has consistently been an engaged participant. This year, with Mr. Modi at the helm, India is storming ahead with tactical and comprehensive groundwork. From soliciting global collaboration for economic resurgence to addressing worldwide concerns such as climate change and terrorism, India is anticipated to make crucial strides at the G20 summit. However, it's important to consider that while G20 consists of nations that mold the global economy, not all countries participate in the summit. Notably, this year, due to geopolitical tensions and internal policy decisions, both Russia and China have opted not to participate. This absence of these significant players adds a new layer to the dynamics of the summit. Moreover, countries such as Ireland, Denmark, Norway, and New Zealand, despite their considerable global standing, have never been part of the group, thus accentuating the selective character of the G20. This year's theme is an ode to unity and a shared vision. One Earth, one family, one future. It's a call to come together to address pressing global issues, from the economy, climate change, to sustainable development. Now, why is this particular summit so significant? First off, it's an unparalleled opportunity for India. As the host, India is expected to play a crucial role in shaping the summit's agenda, showcasing its commitment to multilateralism and global cooperation. It's a chance for India to strengthen its ties with other major economies and working towards a more equitable and inclusive global order. This summit comes at a time when the world is grappling with a global economic slowdown, the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the urgent need to address climate change. These are issues that affect us all, and the G20 is a critical platform to discuss and devise solutions to these challenges. India is also expected to bring forth a number of initiatives at the summit, such as a global investment plan and a new climate change framework. So this summit is not just about discussions, but also about taking action, making decisions that will shape our world for the better. In essence, the G20 summit in New Delhi is more than a meeting of world leaders. It's a testament to global unity, a beacon of hope for a more sustainable and equitable future, and a showcase of India's role in shaping this future. So, as we anticipate this global event, let's remember the significance of the G20 and the vital role it plays in our world today. The theme, One Earth, One Family, One Future, is a reminder that we are all in this together, working towards a common goal for a better, more sustainable world. India, as the host of the G20 summit, has some ambitious proposals that could significantly change the dynamics of the global economic and financial system. These proposals are centered around climate financing, food security, and multilateral development bank reforms. India's proposal for climate financing aims to bolster efforts in mitigating the impact of climate change, particularly in developing nations. This includes initiatives to foster green technology and infrastructure, as well as providing financial support for climate resilience and adaptation strategies. Next, the proposal on food security aims to ensure that all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food. This is particularly significant in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has exacerbated food insecurity in many parts of the world. India is also pushing for reforms in multilateral development banks. The proposed reforms aim to triple sustainable lending. This would significantly benefit poorer developing countries, enabling them to invest more in sustainable development and economic growth. Lastly, India is proposing full G20 membership to all 55 African Union states. This move, if accepted, would increase representation and inclusivity within the G20, giving a louder voice to the African continent on the global stage. These proposals, if accepted, could significantly change the dynamics of the G20 and have a profound impact on developing countries. They align with the summit's theme of One Earth, One Family, One Future, emphasizing global unity and cooperation for sustainable development. Every global event comes with its share of risks and opportunities. The G20 summit is no exception. The risk lies in the challenge of managing such a large-scale event and ensuring productive discussions among world leaders. Also, as the summit brings together the world's largest economies, and disagreements or conflicts could potentially disrupt global economic stability. For instance, differing views on climate financing or the proposed reforms of multilateral development banks may lead to tensions and disagreements. The inclusion of all 55 African Union states in the G20, as proposed by India, while aimed at increasing representation and inclusivity, could also add to the complexity of decision-making and consensus building. However, with risks come opportunities. The opportunity, however, is in the potential to influence global economic policies and showcase India's leadership on the world stage. The summit also presents an unprecedented opportunity for global cooperation on pressing issues such as climate change, food security, and financial reforms. The discussions and decisions taken at the summit could set the direction for global economic and sustainable development for years to come. It also presents an opportunity for developing countries to have their voices heard and their interests represented on the global stage. As the host, India has a unique role to play in navigating these risks and seizing the opportunities. It can leverage its position to drive consensus on its proposals, fostering cooperation and mutual understanding among G20 members. Additionally, it can use this platform to highlight its commitment to sustainable development and inclusive growth, setting an example for other nations. As we look forward to the G20 summit, let's remember that every challenge presents an opportunity for growth and innovation. The summit will be a test of global leadership and cooperation, and we are hopeful that it will result in decisions that benefit all nations and people, particularly the most vulnerable among us. Looking ahead, the G20 will continue to play a pivotal role in shaping the global agenda. The world will be watching closely as these 20 economies navigate the complexities of the 21st century. Whether they can bridge their differences and forge a path towards a more stable, inclusive, and sustainable world remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the decisions made at the G20 will continue to reverberate around the world, influencing economies, societies, and individuals alike. As we look forward to the G20 summit with anticipation, we carry with us the spirit of One Earth, One Family, One Future. We hope that the decisions and initiatives that emerge from this summit will guide us towards a future that is sustainable, equitable, and inclusive. We remain optimistic that the summit will serve as a beacon of global cooperation, guiding us through the complexities of today's world and leading us into a future where every nation thrives.